What is up guys, Anthony here back with another Destiny Child video here on the channel. And in today's Destiny Child video everyone, we are going to be overviewing the upcoming Lisa's schedule calendar here on the Destiny Child Moot blog. As you all can see, we do have it pulled up to the screen already, and we'll be overviewing our next events coming soon for Destiny Child Global. So we will be having our first Ragna break of the year arrive on January 13th. Of course, after the maintenance, we do have the Ragna break and Ragna break burst of the Wounded Winter parts 1 here, being a fire type boss. And of course, we'll discuss the units that will arrive with this event as well in just a bit. But we do have the event there, and of course the in-game event being the Ragna Break one shot one kill event, as well as the ace deck for Ragna Break on the Destiny Child Moot page. After this Ragna Break, we do have a narrative dungeon being the Girls Be Ambitious. Now we'll discuss this event in a separate video, so of course stay tuned for the upcoming schedule calendar video for the narrative dungeon Girls Be Ambitious, which does include a new dark type debuffer and a new wood type supporter unit. So there are the two upcoming events here we do have scheduled on the calendar as of now. Of course, as the Ragna break does pass, we'll probably receive a new schedule calendar to update our current events. But yeah, there's what we have expected to come soon. And let's actually head on to the Destiny Child Japan blog to overview what we could expect for the upcoming Wounded Winter Ragna break event. Alright everyone, here we are on the Destiny Child Japanese blog. Of course, it is all in Japanese, so we don't have any translations, but we'll just overview here what we can gather from the graphics here. Now we do have the Wounded Winter parts 1 here, featuring the two new childs. We do have a new version of Arat being a water type supporter unit, and we do have Caduceus here, the fire type attacker. So there they are, showcased on the screen, of course with Arat's costume for the raid, and of course Caduceus's costume as well. So we do have them showcased in this graphic, a very exciting event. And we do have the boss here, fire type attacker Caduceus, showed on the screen as well. So there she is in her before awakening costume. We do have her up there, and if we do scroll down a bit more, we do have the costumes will have arrive with this event as well. So as you can see, they did receive a skin select box for the raid costumes. We do have the Arat costume, and of course the Caduceus costume here as well. First up here, we do have a screenshot of the Arat costume. So there she is for the water type supporter, and we do have the costume for Caduceus, the fire type attacker. Now if we do scroll down a little bit more, as you can see, we do have it confirmed here that Caduceus is a 5-star fire type attacker unit. Of course, we'll overview the expected kit in just a bit. And here we do have the drive skill of Caduceus, so let's do check it out before we do move on. So there's the drive crush Dux Infernos, I do believe, and we do have it on screen. Overall looking pretty decent. We do have like sort of a snake figure there, looking very nice. So let's actually see the name of the drive skill once more. We do have Dux Infernos. So a very nice looking drive skill, I would say. Honestly, not too top tier of a quality here of the YouTube clip, but we'll just have to wait and see when we do receive the unit in game soon. But overall, it does seem promising, and I do like the looks of the snake here as well. Next up here everyone, we do of course have a new gear set that will be arriving with the Ragna break as well. So there are the images of the equips we should be receiving with the upcoming Ragna break event. And if we do see here, we do have the Caduceus spa costume here as well, looking very nice. I do like how she is showcased here. Next up here everyone, we can expect the bosses here for the upcoming event. First up here, we do have Rudolph from boss 1 through 10, Eve here from 11 through 20, and of course Caduceus here from 21 through 40. So of course the boss has been reduced to level 30, so we'll have to see how they do format the boss for the event. But of course there are the expected bosses we should expect to counter. Now here everyone, we do have the expected banners to be arriving with the upcoming raid event. First up here, of course, we do have the 5-star water type supporter in the new Arat. So there she is in her before awakening costume on the banner. And of course we also do have a guaranteed upon summoning for the water type supporter in Nirdi. Now there is Arat fully showcased on the screen now in her Before Awakening costume, looking amazing, and we do have the confirmation here of her being a 5-star water type supporter. Next up here everyone, we do have the drive skill of Arat, so let's check it out here and see how it does look. There it is, and we overall do have the spear of hers here striking down. I do like it more actually than the Cadesius drive skill in my opinion. So yeah, make sure to let me know what you do think of the two drive skills here showcased so far. Of course, the quality is a bit low here from the YouTube clip, so we'll have to wait and see how they do look top tier in the game. But overall, I do like the looks of the Arat one a bit more from these YouTube clips. But yeah, make sure to let me know what you guys do think of the drive skill animations so far. Next up here everyone, to continue with the banners, we do have a dual pickup summon here featuring Exorcist Nirdi, and of course the Arats here as well on a dual banner. So of course both childs would be featured here on this one, and we also do have here a new Soul Carta which will be arriving with the event as well. Hopefully we do receive the same art, it'll probably be this same exact Carta, but sometimes they do change it up, but we should expect this Carta to arrive here as well, looking amazing here with Arat showcased on it. Now moving on everyone from the Destiny Child Japan blog, that is all we could gather from the event post, but we are actually headed to the Rice Mine Japan as we are already here now for the expected skill sets of the upcoming units for the Wounded Winter event. We do have the boss here, Cadesius, shown on screen right now in her After Awakening Live 2D animation on the left hand side, and of course we do have the stats here for the fire type attacker, of course a 5-star unit. For the tiers here on the Japan side of the game currently, we do have PvE tier 7, PvP tier 8, Raid and World Boss tier 6. So she overall does seem to be pretty decent for the PvP side of the game if you guys would like to invest in her. Now we do have the auto attack damage, deals 114 damage. The tap skill here deals 498 damage to one target, priority the wood types, and she also does have a 70% chance to grant Ignore Reflect to self for 15 seconds. So a pretty decent tap skill I would say, as of course she does have the Ignore Reflect chance there on it as well. Now moving on to the slide skill, we do have deal 988 damage to 3 targets, priority debuffed. If the targets are debuffed, deal 1200 fixed damage and plus 400 debuff explosion, remove 1 buff from the enemy, and deal damage according to the type by a factor of X. So I overall do like the slide skill here. It seems promising if the units are debuffed, so of course you'll want to run debuffer units aside Cadesius here, and of course it'll deal 1200 fixed damage as well as the additional plus 400 debuff explosion. And she does have here the deal 988 damage here to 3 targets, priority of course being the debuffed units. So the slide skill does seem more promising than the tap skill here for the PvP side of the game. And now moving on to the drive skill, we do have deal 2661 damage to 4 random targets and deal 1500 fixed damage to 2 targets, priority the lowest HP. So it's nice here on the drive skill, she does prioritize the lowest HP units here. And for the leader buff, we do have slide skill damage plus 18% for fire type allies. So a decent one here, as of course she does increase the slide skill damage for your units, making her a promising lead for the world boss I guess, but you probably won't run her anyways as we do have supporters for that reason. But overall I would say her kit is pretty promising here with the slide skill if you do run a decent amount of debuffer units in the PvP side of the game. Now she may be promising for Endless, as of course the Endless side of the game does seem to be overfilled with debuffer units, so she could be pretty promising with the slide skill in pair with all of those debuffer units. And if you do run multiple debuffer units on your PvP team and are interested in Cadesius, then she does seem to be a pretty decent option. Now moving on everyone, we do have the Exorcist Arat here, the 5-star water type supporter, showcased on screen now. There she is on the left hand side in her After Awakening costume, looking way better in my opinion than Cadesius. I do love the new Arat, looking amazing. Honestly a total game changer from her dark type unit. But there she is on the left hand side of the screen here. We do have the 5-star water type supporter. For the tiers here, she is PvE tier 8, PvP tier 7, Raid tier 10, and World Boss tier 9. So as you can see, she does excel very well in the Raid and World Boss sides of the game, as well as having use in PvE and PvP here if you do run multiple water type units. Now moving into the skill set here, we do have the tap skill, deal 396 damage to the target and grants skill charge rate, increases skill gauge charge amount, plus 45% to 2 allies, priority attackers for 16 seconds long. So a pretty nice tap skill here. She does seem promising for World Boss, as of course these tap skills are amazing for the World Boss side of the game, as of course she does prioritize the attacker units and she will be able to grant skill charge rates up for 16 seconds long here on the base tap skill. So the tap skill is very promising for the World Boss, as of course she is a World Boss tier 9. So a very amazing tap skill here, I would say, for World Boss, and pretty promising for Ragnarok as well. Now moving into the slide skill here, which is very amazing. We do have deal 733 damage to the target, grants plus 35% final skill damage to 3 water type allies, priority highest attack for 16 seconds long. In Raid, a 70% chance to grant cheer, increases weak point damage based on the number of cheer stacks to 3 water type allies, priority highest attack for 16 seconds long. So a very amazing slide skill here, showing why she is very flexible around Destiny Child, of course, to the World Boss as well as Raid side of the game, as she does have here the grant plus 35% final skill damage to 3 water type allies, making her a staple water type supporter unit here for the Fire World Boss side of the game. And of course in Raid she is a staple as well, as she does seem to be pretty promising here with the cheer, as she does increase weak point damage based on the number of cheer stacks to 3 of your water type allies, prioritizing the highest attack units here. So overall a very amazing kit so far throughout the tap and slide skill. Now moving on into the drive skill, we do have deal 1889 damage to 3 random targets, drive gauge plus 150 based on number of water type allies up to 5 times. And for the leader buff here, we do have skill charge rates plus 18% to water type allies, in Rage an additional 20%. So overall I would say Arat is of course the better of the two, but the Raid unit Caduceus doesn't seem to be too bad for the PvP side of the game if you are interested in pairing her up with multiple debuffer units. But Arat here does seem to be a pretty flexible supporter unit here to the World Boss and Raid side of the game here, being her tap skill here does grant skill charge rate to 2 allies, prioritizing the attackers. So of course she isn't tied to any specific World Boss here if you of course do only want to run her tap skill. Now for the slide skill here, she is very promising for World Boss as well here, as she does grant the plus 35% final skill damage to 3 water type allies, as well as the Raid portion here with the 70% chance to grant cheer to 3 water type allies, prioritizing highest attack as well. So overall a very amazing supporter unit, arriving with the upcoming Ragnarok event, and of course a pretty decent promising attacker in Caduceus if you do run multiple debuffer units in the Devil Rumble and Endless Duel side of the game. So of course make sure to let me know in the comments as well what you do think of their kits here, their expected kits to arrive with the upcoming event, and of course which of the 2 units are you most excited for, looks wise or skill wise. Alright everyone, last but not least here for the ending of the video, we do have here the live 2D animations of the units. Now I'll be sure to link this website down in the description box below if you guys are interested in checking out any units and their live 2D animations. But of course here we do have Arat. There she is in her Before Awakening costume, and of course live 2D animation looking very amazing. And next up here we do have Arat in her After Awakening costume here as well. Next up here we do have Arat in her Raid costume, so there she is. This one you can obtain from the Ragnarok side of the game, and of course from the Rebirth Lab for 240 blood gems if you don't get too lucky with the raid costume. Next up here everyone, we do have the hot spring costume of Arat, so there she is, and of course she does have a live 2D animation, so very nice here. I do like the spa skin a ton. Next up here everyone, we do have the live 2D animations of Caduceus, so there she is on screen in her before awakening costume, so this is how you will obtain the raid unit. And next up here we do have Caduceus in her after awakening costume here on the screen. Last but not least here, before the hot spring costume, we do have the raid costume here for Caduceus, so there it is for Caduceus if you do manage to obtain the raid costume. And to end off the live 2D animations of the video, we do have the hot spring costume, of course in live 2D for Caduceus. So that'll pretty much do it for today's Destiny Child video, and of course the Lisa's upcoming schedule calendar preview for the upcoming Ragnarok Winter Parts 1 to be arriving soon here to Destiny Child Global. Now make sure to let me know in the comment section below what you are most excited about for the upcoming raid, and of course stay tuned for the upcoming Lisa schedule calendar video here for a preview on the upcoming narrative dungeon as well. But before you go everyone, make sure to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy today's Destiny Child video, and of course if you haven't yet done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are interested in more Destiny Child content here on the channel, such as this one, and of course make sure to turn on the post notification bell here as well. But with all of that being said everyone, I'll see you all in the next Destiny Child video. As always, thank you all so much for watching.